But I just thought it was important to share my story. I know I used to be able to teach in-person classes all the time. The majority of our Oilers for Life family came from in-person classes that I was able to teach. But I know with current situations, there haven't been as many in-person classes. So some people here haven't met me in person. They don't know my story. They don't know our story. So I thought it was really important to share that now, especially during these times where we're not connecting in person all the time. So, for anybody who doesn't know me, who hasn't met me yet, my name is Amy Stanford, and I am a holistic nutritionist. I'm also a mom of three children, and I live in Southern California. A little bit about me: I was an elementary school teacher for 14 years. And then, after healing my daughter from regressive autism through nutrition and supplements and detoxifying our home and our bodies and taking a leave of absence from teaching in 2012 to stay home with my three kids per my husband's request, I went back to school to become a holistic nutritionist. And then in 2015, I was in school full time. And while I had so many holistic and natural tools at my fingertips and lots of holistic health knowledge, I was really still missing a big piece of the puzzle when it came to my family's health. My kids were still getting sick, and when one of them would get sick, they would pass it on to the other ones, that kind of thing, which totally doesn't happen now, which we'll get into that. So when anyone was sick, I didn't have any tools, like natural tools that worked to lean on or to use. My hair was thinning and I had bald spots, and none of my natural tools helped at all. And trust me, I had tried everything. My teeth and gums were a total hot mess after 3 pregnancies and nursing 3 babies. My hormones were a mess. My sleep wasn't great. I mean, I could go on and on with the issues we were still dealing with, even with all of the natural tools and resources that I did have access to. Well, then one of my Instagram friends that I had met through my workout, so we had never actually met in person. We just did the same workout, so we followed each other on Instagram, started posting about her success with Young Living oils and products for her family's health and skin and hair and sleep and hormones and everything. And I was a huge skeptic, total skeptic, and felt like I already had so many natural tools that I didn't need anymore. So I ignored her for a while, whatever. But I had done some research into growing my hair over the years that I had been the 4 years I had been trying to grow it. And there did keep having mentions of essential oils for hair growth. So that was kind of in the back of my mind. So I paid a little bit of attention, but I mostly ignored. But she kept posting. And I started wondering if the oils could really help my family in the ways they'd helped her family. Because like I said, we were still hurting in some areas. So I started asking her questions, and she invited me to a few online classes, and I did attend a few of them. And then finally, I had a horrific tooth infection and a root canal that ended up pushing me to jump in and grab my starter kit finally. Okay, so in August of 2015 is when I purchased my first Young Living starter kit. To say I was blown away is a total understatement. The first thing I was blown away by was the power of the oils, because that's what I started with, the premium starter kit. I had never, and I still have never, found something so powerful and miraculous. And my very first aha moment with the oils was when my hair started growing back. After 3 days, I could see baby hairs growing where I had been bald for literally 4 years. And that was my first, holy crap, these oils actually work. Oh my God. And like I said, I was a huge skeptic, okay? Then I was blown away by how amazing, clean, and safe all of their products were. And remember, I had detoxified my home and products 7 years prior when I was healing my daughter in 2008. And I had been researching and trying products from all over the world for 7 years, and I had yet to find anything remotely comparable to Young Living products. And then with Young Living products, I actually loved them. So all the other products I had been trying for 7 years from all over the world, I never really liked. I for sure didn't love. And with the Young Living products, every product I tried, I loved. They actually worked They worked better than any toxic or non-toxic products I had ever tried. So for 7 years, I was used to just ordering the non-toxic products because I refused to buy the toxic products, but they sucked. But I didn't care, right? I continued ordering them even though they sucked because I refused to order toxic products. Well, with Young Living, I was like, holy crap, these actually work better than the toxic stuff I used to use. I actually like them better than the toxic stuff I used to use. And they're 14 million times better than the clean and safe ones I was using, which actually weren't as clean and safe as I thought. Most of them had been greenwashed. A lot of them still contain synthetic fragrance. As I learned more and more about synthetic fragrance with Young Living and the oils and how essential oils are made and how they're not all equal, I realized, holy moly, these get better and better and better the more I learn. And last but not least, I was blown away by their supplements. And even though I had access to professional quality supplements at a wholesale price, Young Living supplements still blew them out of the water. Okay, so Young Living supplements still blew out of the water the professional grade supplements that I have access to as a holistic nutritionist with a wholesale discount. Okay, I still prefer Young Living supplements. They still work way better. Okay. So in the last 5 or 6 years that I have been using Young Living oils and products, my entire family has become so empowered. We have an entire wellness arsenal of oils for any issue we ever encounter. We are the healthiest we've ever been. I mean, there are endless ways that Young Living has positively impacted my life and my family's life. From ditching our allergy pills and sprays to ditching Advil and Tylenol. I mean, the list goes on and on. Over the last 5 or 6 years, we've become so empowered. We're the healthiest we've ever been. I mean, our lives have been blessed in so many ways. It's crazy. Then at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, really the beginning of 2017, January of 2017, with a push from Peace and Calming, which is a story for another day, I eventually couldn't keep the blessing of Young Living to myself, and I started telling friends and family some of our family's stories with Young Living and some of the ways that we use the oils and products and some of the ways that they'd helped us. And after being a secret oiler for 2 years, because remember, I started using Young Living in 2015 and I didn't start sharing our stories with friends and family until 2017. So after being a secret oiler for 2 years, I loved, and I still love, hearing the testimonies of how much Young Living's oils and products were helping all of my friends the same way that they had helped me. Because as much as I know how much they've helped me and my family, I still am blown away every time they've helped someone else. I'm like, oh my God, that happened to me too. Oh my gosh. Like, I just love all the testimonies and all the stories. And then the financial blessing of sharing my story and empowering my friends came as a huge surprise. I really didn't understand or know anything about it. The other huge surprise, in addition to the financial blessing, was how fun and rewarding sharing the gift of Young Living with others was and still is. And now I'm blessed in financial ways by Young Living simply by sharing my story with others. So not only have we been blessed health-wise and empowerment-wise, but now we're also blessed financially. So when I first started telling my story openly and purposefully, I was in school full-time. The income from Young Living took the pressure off of me stepping away from teaching and switching careers. Then, in starting my nutrition business, the income has helped me build my business without huge pressure to succeed quickly. Because any small business, if you've ever tried starting a small business, it takes a great deal of time and a great deal of effort to make very little income. So it's taken off the pressure from that. And in fact, without my Young Living income, I'm sure I would be back to full-time teaching years ago, and I would have given up on my dream of being a holistic nutritionist and helping people with natural health and wellness, and I would just be back to working full-time as a teacher. So the income from Young Living has enabled me to work from home, to be the mom my 3 children need me to be home the way the fire wife life demands because my husband is a firefighter and they are gone a lot, and to make a steady and growing income while still pursuing my passion as a nutritionist. Building a new business from scratch is rough as far as a nutrition business or some other type of business that you're trying to start. But starting a small business with Young Living is very simple, very fun, and very rewarding. I've done both. Trust me, I know. Okay. Young Living has been around for 27 years, and they are an established and growing company, so it's not like you're starting a brand new business. It's totally different. They take care of all the cumbersome things while I get to connect with people and help people, which is my passion, and I love so much. I work my Young Living business and my nutrition business while also being a mom of 3 busy children. And I can tell you that this Young Living business is the most fun, most fulfilling, most exciting job ever. The friendships I've made, the people I get to help day in and day out, the lives I get to positively impact, and that the number of lives continues to grow and grow, the dreams that the Young Living opportunity allows me to dream, all of it is the hugest blessing and something I could have never chosen because I honestly didn't know it existed. I didn't know it was an option. It just happened. I couldn't have chosen it. Someone who loved Young Living oils and products told me about them. She told me about them over and over and over again until I saw the value for myself and finally said yes. Then I fell in love, and eventually I started telling my story over and over and over again until other people saw the value for themselves and they also said yes. And then they fell in love, and eventually they might tell someone. Or maybe you already have. The best tip I have if you're thinking about possibly sharing Young Living with others is to just be authentic. Okay, so whether you're looking to make an extra $100 or $500 or $1,000 a month or whatever a month you're looking to make, just be authentic. Be real, be honest, fall in love with the oils and products, and then tell your story of how they helped you. That's it. Everyone finds success in different ways. There's no one size fits all success, okay? There's in-person classes, which I love because I was a teacher, right? So that was my jam. In-person classes, online classes, one-on-one coffee dates and play dates, which at the beginning I did tons of one-on-ones and I still do. I talk to people on the phone for hours on end. So there's no right or wrong way. Chatting with moms at church, soccer, dance, the office. There are infinite ways to connect with people and offer value in their lives. Be of service to those in your life and bring value. This is a really important thing. So listen to this. Listen to what I have to say here. Tell your story knowing that it could help others in the same way that someone else's story helped you. How grateful are you to the person who told you their story? I am eternally grateful. I could cry. I could literally cry. So let me say that one more time. That's like the most important piece. Tell your story knowing that it could help others in the way that someone else's story helped you. Look, I'm getting teared up. I can't even talk. Most importantly, don't stop. If you really want to keep going and keep growing and keep increasing your paycheck with Young Living and, replace a full-time income, retire your husband, make all your dreams happen, you just don't stop. You just keep sharing your story and blessing others, and you are blessed in return. Just stay consistent. The difference between a star, which is like the very first rank of Young Living, if you have never heard of that, it's no big deal. But the only difference between a star and a Royal Crown Diamond, which is like the top rank that makes over $150,000 a month. But the only difference between the two is that the Royal Crown Diamond has told their story so many more times to so many more people, empowered others to do the same, and never stopped. So that's my Young Living story so far. It continues to unfold and it continues to blow me away. And I am forever thankful and grateful to each and every one of you who said yes to Young Living and who make our community the absolute best oil community ever. So if you have questions, let me know. Sorry, this was longer than I thought because we got disconnected on Instagram. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great night.